Hey guys, welcome to Mike's Money Class. Recently I decided to rebrand my channel so my content could hit a more targeted audience. This is a finance channel, and the former name of my channel also was a finance channel. But to me, Mike's Money Class means you are coming to school to learn about money. And that's exactly what I intend to deliver on this channel. So here we talk about all types of money from all types of different angles. So I'm talking ways to make more money, ways to save more money, ways to put money to work for you, ways to keep money that you already have. So we're talking investment strategies, whether you're investing in the stock market or maybe into real estate. We're talking about ways to negotiate better offers on jobs. We're talking about side hustles and starting businesses and how to make them profitable, pretty much, as well as ways to get access to capital from banks, credit unions, even non-for-profits. And on top of that, we need a little leisure, so I always throw in some travel-related financial wellness as well, so travel hacks. And actually, that's what this particular video is about. This video is about a travel hack that everyone should know about if you ever travel. Now, we're very busy people. Everybody's working. Lots of people are working hard to achieve what they really want to achieve in life, whether they're working a job plus a side hustle or plus a couple of side hustles. You may be writing a book. It's all different types of things you could do. But everybody needs to get away from time to time. And yours truly falls into that category. Now, a while back, I was traveling in the winter time. Now, as a person that comes from what they call a snowbird area, and those are people that basically get winter weather in the winter. So I'm from the Midwest, from the Chicago area to be exact, and we do get cold winters, and it doesn't bother me that much. It really doesn't. I've become accustomed to it, but at times I do need a break and an opportunity to get a little bit of sun. So I had a trip scheduled to South Florida to go get some sun in the middle of January. It was like 26 degrees in Chicago. And in South Florida, it was close to 80 degrees, and I was just looking forward to a long weekend down there and getting some sun. And I got to the airport, and something really funky happened. I found out that I was being bumped off my flight. So the first thing that comes to mind is like, man, what in the heck do I do? I got a hotel paid for down there. I got a rental car waiting on me. I've already made plans. I got activities and itinerary. But now I don't have a seat on the plane. So I said, you know what? I need to make a video about this because lots of people encounter this and you don't know what you can do and what you can't do when it comes to being bumped off your flight. So I'm gonna do a quick rundown, tell you everything you need to know. And if you find some value in it, guys, make sure you help the channel out with a like and a subscribe. Now let's jump right into it. All the information that I'm giving you is going to be directly from the United States Department of Transportation site, and I'll have a link in the description to the video where you can go and check this out too. So what I experienced was called bumping. So bumping is basically when you are denied a seat on a flight that you've paid for. And this happens because many airlines actually oversell their flights purposely because they are depending on a certain amount of people to not show up for the flight. Therefore, there would still be enough room for the other passengers, and the flight can be, as close to full as possible, which of course is best for their bottom line as far as being able to have a full flight that generates the most revenue, that makes the airline the most money, right? So it's important though to understand that if you're on a flight and you get bumped, you may be asked to give up your seat, and you need to know what your rights are in exchange and giving up that seat for compensation. Now, this is when you voluntarily give up your seat. If you voluntarily give up your seat, so there will be more, seats available so everyone will be able to fly because they've oversold the flight. There's certain things that you need to know, and you are free to negotiate with the airline. Now, in the event that you do give up your seat, the airline could offer you a reduced rate ticket, a free ticket, meal vouchers, and other types of things in exchange for giving up that seat and having a delay on your vacation or your trip wherever you're headed. If you decide to give your seat back to the airline in exchange for the ticket that you're giving up, there are some questions that you may definitely want to get asked before doing so. You want to make sure that you can confirm the flight on the seat, confirm the seat on the flight that you're going to fly out of, as opposed to the one that you're on. You want to make sure that you have a live ticket and not a standby ticket, because this could result in you being delayed for a lot longer than what you thought you were going to be delayed. Now, what happens if you're just basically kicked off the flight, if you're involuntarily made to give up your seat? And this can happen. Sometimes airlines ask for volunteers to give up seats and fly on a different flight. Sometimes there's not enough volunteers. And when this happens, the airline will select passengers to give up their seats. This is called involuntary denied boarding or bumping. Now, does the airline get to determine who gives up the seat? Well, sort of. While it's legal for the airlines to involuntarily bump passengers on an oversold flight, if there's not enough volunteers, it's the airline's responsibility to determine its own fair boarding priorities. So if there's not enough seats, passengers who are willing to give up their seats voluntarily an airline may deny you a seat on an aircraft based on criteria that it establishes, such as things like when you checked in, the fare paid by the passenger, or maybe their frequent flyer status. However, they cannot deny you based on something that would be considered prejudice, such as the ethnicity of the passenger, for instance. Now, do they have to tell you your rights if you're being involuntarily bumped? That's affirmative. The DOT does require airlines to give all passengers who are bumped involuntarily a written statement describing their rights, explaining how the carrier decides who gets bumped. Now, can they involuntarily bump me after I've boarded the flight? Well, generally, they cannot if you've met the following conditions. And airlines are not allowed to deny you the permission to board or remove you from a flight if you've already boarded, if you've checked in your flight before the check-in deadline set by the airline, and the gate agent has already accepted your boarding pass or electronically scanned your boarding pass and giving you the green light that you can go ahead and proceed. However, airlines can deny you the right to board or remove you from a flight even after accepting your boarding pass if the denial or removal is due to safety reasons, such as you posing a health risk or a safety risk for other passengers by being obscene, disruptive, or in some other ways unlawful. Now, here are some situations where passengers are eligible for compensation when they get bumped from a flight. So if you're bumped for a flight for one of these reasons, you do qualify for involuntary denied boarding compensation if an airline requires you to give up a seat on an oversold flight and you have already confirmed reservation, you checked into your flight on time, you've arrived at the departure gate on time, and the airline cannot get you to your destination within 1 hour of your flight's original arrival time. Okay, that's very important to remember. But you're not eligible for compensation if any of these following situations occur. If there's an aircraft change and a smaller plane is substituted for the larger plane the airline had originally planned on using due to operational or safety reasons. Weight and balance. If the weight and balance restrictions that apply to planes with 60 or fewer seats for operational or safety reasons. By downgrading, if the passenger is downgraded from a higher class seating to a lower class, in this case, the passenger is entitled to a refund for the difference in the price. Charter flights, if a flight contracted for a specific trip is not part of an airline's regular schedule, or if it's like a small aircraft and the scheduled flight is holding fewer than 30 passengers. Also for a foreign bound flight destined for the United States. So if you're on a flight that say originating out of Europe, a European country headed to the United States, you wouldn't be eligible. So here's how the money works, okay? And this is what a lot of people want to know about. And these are for domestic rules, okay? These are domestic rules straight from the United States Department of Transportation. As far as compensation goes, if you are bumped from a flight and it's going to result in a 0 to 1 hour delay and you get into your destination, sorry to tell you, but there's no compensation. You can try to still negotiate with the airline and maybe you'll be able to get some type of compensation, maybe meal vouchers or maybe a discount on your fare, but they aren't required by law to give you anything in that case. 1 to 2 hour delay, you can get up to 200% of the one-way fare, and the airlines, just to let you know, may keep the limit to $775 if 200% of the one-way fare is more than $775. If it's over a 2-hour delay, and this is really good, guys, you could get up to 400% of a one-way fare. And again, the airlines do have a right to limit the compensation to $1,550 if that is going to be more, if they 400% of the one-way fare will be more than $1,550. So there it is, guys. Know the rules when you are traveling. Know what your rights are as a traveler. Travel smart and travel safe. So that's all I had to share with you today. I'll be back with more videos soon. But until I do, thank you for attending Mike's Money class. And just remember, money is only as valuable as the hands it's in and the intentions with it.